Hello, everyone. I will discuss to you the moral reasoning in business. This is Michelle A. Kenya, your instructor for good governance and social responsibility subject. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to articulate what moral judgment is in the business decision making process. Advocate a personal philosophy as a guide in business decision making. Describe the framework for ethical decision making. So, welcome to lesson 2, moral reasoning in business. Given the influence a business has in the lives of people and society, we move forward into determining what framework is followed by these companies when they make decisions. How do they justify their actions as being fair and just? This, my dear students, is the gist of this lesson. Before we continue to our lesson, let us have an activity. Think or reflect on the recent major decision you have had. Your studies, personal relationship, investment, purchase, o unsa man tong mga nabuhat ninyo nga ma-consider ninyo as big decision. So, sa ako just recently I went to a loan company to borrow a not that large amount of money. Why do you consider, next question is, why do you consider it a major decision making? For me, I considered it a major decision making because the whole family is involved, and also for the thought that it will change something in our lives. How did you decide? I decide by weighing the pros and cons. Unsa ba'y kalabasan sa ako ang gihimo na decision? And consulting it to my family and all the persons involved. What are the considerations? Ngano mang gibuhat nako to? Unsa man ang mga butang ako ang gi-consider? The very first thing na ako adjong gina-consider for that big decision that I made is for financial stability. Alam niyo naman, tayo ay lumalaban para sa ekonomiya. What did you feel about this decision you made? Of course, there are setbacks. There's that feeling na dili na ako ni kaya. I think the market will have its up and downs, and then naka-loan ko og dako. So what if dili mo boom? What if malugi unya kada bulan na ako'y ginabayaran? So who will get affected? So there are disappointments, wala kabalo sa mga rewards and everything. So na yung mga ingon ana. So there is that sense of conviction as you discuss the major decision making you have had. You have given all options a lot of thoughts. Of course, when it comes to decision making, dili jud dapat ka magpataka og dastas. You have to weigh all pros and cons. It was a personal decision yet. As you put it, you have to look beyond your personal desires. Like, para sa ba niya ako ang ginahimo? And see how it will impact others around you, especially sa imong family, your values and society's norms. Or should we say, how are we going to behave in our society where a great influence on your actions. Your values and society's norms were a great influence on your actions. Diba? When we say society's norms, or unsa tong normal na mga ginabuhat sa imong society, like dress code. Nag-change man gud ang society's norm every now and then. Uh, Dress code, example na isang dress code. Sa unang panahon, taas pa kayo ang suot sa mga tao. Pero karon taas na ang tabas. Sa una putos, karon lapos. Aside from dress code, we have traditions. Diba sa una, kung manligaw ka, mamugha pa ka og kahoy para mapatunayan nimo na seryoso ka na nanligaw sa anak. Sa una, pakaslan pagbilog ang bulan. Pero karon, pakaslan pagbilog ang tiyan. Now let's go back to business. Society's norms, we're talking about society's norms. Example diri sa Pilipinas, bawal mamaligya og marijuana. Pero sa California, normal ra na, like mura lang kanipalit og bulak, something like that. This experience is not far from how decisions are acted upon by companies. So, na ako i-provide na link sa inyo ha, which is a Google Form link for your activity. Same with the instructions I had before sa previous na lesson na i-present na ko ang questions sa ako ang videos, and then you need to, sa inyong pag-answer, you need to type or encode in the question before you explain your answer. So, case study question number 1, was the action of Mr. D to cancel the contract legally correct and morally justified? So, the case study is presented dito as a Google form. Framework for moral reasoning in business. Most businesses are establishing initiatives that include the development and implementation of ethics programs designed to deter conduct that some stakeholders might consider objectionable. So, natin ginatawag na moral reasoning. Moral reasoning is a process in which ethical issues and problems are benchmarked against a moral standard so that a moral judgment is made possible. So basically, in short, unsa tong mga dapat og dili buhaton as a business owner or as part of the business world. The managers have the responsibility to help in the resolution, if not prevention, of moral issues that may have adverse effects to the operation of business. So if problems arise, it is expected of you as a manager to resolve that kind of issues. Dili kay ikaw ang mag-una-una, or kung dili man ikaw ang punot dulo, kung dili man ikaw ang punot dulo sa kanang gubot. That is why you should be a role model to your employees. Di ba, ang trabaho sa manager is to supervise and lead a company's operations and employees. You are a person responsible. You are a person in charge. So kung unsa may mga mahitabo, it is your responsibility to resolve the issue. So here is a framework for moral reasoning. We have ethical issues, what are the problems, after that reality check, what are the moral norm, moral standard, company policy, ethical principle, and then there is the moral judgment, situation analysis, problem analysis, decision analysis, and then resolution. So example na we have here graph, sexual harassment, theft, bribery. Morning mga common issues or common ethical issues or problems nga naa jud sa isa ka company. Then next to that, reality check or problem analysis, gravity of offense, frequency of offense, harm done, number of people affected, what are the costs. So, let us cite an example sa situation analysis. So, balik tayo sa situation analysis. Example, sexual harassment. So, nahitabo ng mga sexual harassment sa isa ka opisina, like ang imuhang boss, kanang naibog sa iyahang coworker, and then the situation is ang imuhang boss is na minyo na, Then ang iyahang secretary is dalaga pa, or something like reality check, or the usual thing that happens today is kanang mga kabit-kabit na issue. So pila ka person ang involved, kinsa ang mga instrument of the crime. Now, so nahitabo man to, let us go to the decision analysis. What are the company rules, policies, ethical principles, codes of conduct, and then the moral norms according to the law? So, tanaw na to ang company rules. Uy, pag tanaw dito, klaro kaayo ang rules and policies sa company na bawal ang mag-uyab-uyab sulod sa opisina, or bawal na yung mga relationship. So kung mosulod ta sa moral norms, bawal jud ng mga bit, di ba? Kay kasuhan ka og kasuhan og concubinage ang babae, then sa lalaki kasuhan siya og adultery. Now here is a moral judgment. Is it moral or immoral, or is it legal or illegal? Of course, based sa situation, problem decision analysis, it is very clear that what happened is immoral. So, case study question number 2. Is it appropriate to extend friendship in business transactions? Why or why not? Discuss your answer. Requirements for good moral judgment. So, muna yung mga requirements for good moral judgment. First, a good moral judgment must be logical. This means that the decision maker must arrive at an informed resolution of the issue based on logical reasoning. Nakasala ka, kay unsa man imong gibuhat, nangabit ka, nakadaot ka og pamilya, unya gibuhat pa jud nimo sa time sa trabaho. Second, a good moral judgment must be based on facts and solid evidences. The information in the process of moral reasoning must not come from weak sources like hearsay, humors, and grapevine, kana mga chismis. According to Tarpulano, yung ano yung giingon, kisa man naging kay Tarpulano, ingon si Tarpulano, kisa man naging kay Tarpulano, and nagsunod-sunod na. Wala jud siya, dili jud siya based sa fact, walay ka matuuran, kay puro lang siya chismis. Dapat, ganun ka ba naman ka na nangabit si Kuan? Nakita na ako sa CCTV, napicturan na ko. So, dapat na yung mga clear evidences. Third, a good moral judgment must be based on sound and defensible moral principles. A weak ethical principle is open to a lot of criticisms. You do what you do based on the universal law. What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. In the law of God, in the law of the land. So, mo na atong ginaingon na sa batas ng Diyos at sa batas ng tao, mali jud ng imuhang gibuhat or tama ang imuhang gibuhat. That will be all for this lesson. Thank you for questions and clarifications. Do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you again. This is Michelle, your instructor in good governance and social responsibility subject.